Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about contouring, which is just accentuating the normal shadows of your face. You could do this two ways. You could do it like on an everyday, just on the go, no big deal. You just want to make yourself have a little bit more shape and shadowing. Or you could do it very dramatic. And there's something going on with my light. Of course. Hopefully that'll fix it. Or you could do it very dramatic. You could actually definitely do a lot of things with your contouring. You could completely change the look of your face with your contouring. And a lot of people think that contouring is kind of just, who cares? It's not a big deal. But if you do try it, it will make a huge difference. It was quite surprising to me whenever I started doing it. I was, quick, easy, whatever, get out of the house kind of thing. But once I started doing it, now I won't go out without it. So it is very important. I mean, not very important, but it does make a huge difference. So we'll just go right into it. First of all, I've already done this side of my face, and I was hoping that you could see the difference. But I don't know if you can with the lighting that I have. But I was hoping you could see the difference between this side and this side. Let me push my hair back out of the way. If you can tell, I do already have some shadowing and stuff going on this side, and not so much on this side, and I don't know if you can tell that. But I'm just going to replicate what I have on this side onto this side, showing you guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right here. This is a matte color. I don't know how good you can see that. It's just a darkish brown color, and I can't really tell what color it is. It looks like Feeling, and it is by MAC. And as you can tell, I've used this a lot. And then I'm going to take this simple angled brush. It's kind of bigger than like a normal eyeshadow brush or anything like that, but it is very angled. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually use this brush, the shape of the brush, to do this. That's the whole reason they make shapes like this, especially like with eyeshadow brushes, stuff like that. They make these shapes for a reason, and so that's what we're going to use. Is we're going to use it for what it's actually for. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let me get my mirror and everything together here. Opened up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take just a little bit at a time, because you always want to remember you can always build your color up, but you can never really take away what you've already put on, especially for a dark color. I mean, you can, but why go through the extra trouble? So just start out with a little bit of color, and then we'll work our way up. So just a little bit of color, and then I tap it off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shape of the brush. I'm going to take the longer side at the back of my face here, and then work my way in. And now what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to shape that bone right here, or not really bone, I guess, your indentation right here, where your face would normally give that extra shadow right there. What you can do is you can kind of tilt your head down, and you can see where the shadow kind of reflects on your, not reflects, where it's on your face. Or you can, you can suck your cheeks in, or there's different things that you can do. So that's what we're going to do, is we're just going to accentuate that. So once we have a little bit of color, we're going to put the longer end on the back, and then just work our way in like this. Alright, and what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth like this, and I'm also kind of circling at the same time, so that I'm blending at the same time as I'm putting it on, so that I don't end up with a streak and then I have to blend it out more. So I'm kind of just letting the brush work itself out through that. So alright, now can you tell the difference in what's going on here? I hope you really can. I don't know how good the lighting is. I can't see what you're seeing right now. So that's all you're doing is, and like I said, all you're doing is accentuating what you already have. You're just bringing out your natural shadows rather than just looking matte and like a plain canvas pretty much. And if you're using blush and things of that nature, this just brings it out even more. It really gives you the shape that you want in your face that you already have, but once you put your foundation on, you kind of lose a lot of that. And so this just brings it out more. This just gives you the structure that you already have. Okay, so after that, we're going to once again just go in with just a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to outline our jawline right here. Okay, so like I said, just using the brush, the shape of the brush, the longer end is on the back. Alright, and there we go. Now, I know that my face isn't structured like yours or anyone else's. I do have kind of a round face, and so it's kind of harder for me to get the shadowing that a lot of people do. I'm, you know, bigger and wider and rounder and all that fun stuff, so yours will look a little different and probably better. So, I'm just going to blend that out. Alright. Now, you want to keep in mind that you don't want a very dark color in these areas. I mean, you do want a darker color than your skin tone or your foundation color, but you don't want a very, very dark color because then it just looks like you just threw something on there pretty much, even though you're blending it out. I was... Actually, with my other foundation, I use this, which is actually an eyeshadow. It's a brown eyeshadow. There you go. You could see that. It's a brown eyeshadow. I use this with my other foundation, but with this foundation, and even if I'm not careful with my other foundation, this can look very dirty. And so, this is actually just an eyeshadow, so, you know, this is just something that I do, because this is the only one I have of this, and so I use this one with my other foundation because it's a little lighter. But the whole point of this is, if I'm not very careful with this, I will look just dirty on the side of my face, probably because it's a brown. But the whole point is to be very careful with what you're using and the colors that you're using. Like, you want to make sure that your foundation and your contouring and your blushes and everything all kind of blend together, because if I use this one with my other foundation, it does tend to show it very pink, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, you could tell that there's a little bit of pink in there, but I don't know, it just does. So let's just move on. I feel very scatterbrained and I don't like it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to once again take the same thing, same color, same brush, and what we're going to do is right in this area here, up in this area into your temples. I don't know if you can tell on this side, but we're going to put a little color in this area too, and then kind of blend it across and down a little bit, very lightly. I do not recommend putting very much color on the top. Now, this is going to give you the natural shadows that you should have, like up in this area here. But if you put a lot of color here, in my opinion, especially on me, it looks very funny, kind of, I look weird. The shape of my face is weird anyways. So, like I said, we're just going to take a little bit of color and then put in this area here. And then down, and a little bit of cross, just to meet with that other side. Alright. And I really don't know how good you guys can see this, but this is the whole point of this. Now, also, what you're going to do is you're going to go down the sides of your nose where it would meet when you're going up and across, where it would meet there on that very edge. You're going to accentuate that as well. It's going to bring out the shape of your nose. It's going to give you that structure that you want and that sleek look down the tip of your nose, or down the middle of your nose. Now, you can do this a few different ways, to be honest. If you're wanting to make the shape of your face different, if you're wanting to go for a specific look, you can, and your nose is a big part of that. When you're doing your contouring on this, you can make your face look completely different, your nose look completely different, just by the shadowing that you put on it. And so I do recommend being very careful with this, or you could even play around with this and do it however you want. And that's the fun part about makeup. And if you're wanting to do, I will give you something that is going to sound kind of crazy. If you're wanting to do, you know, big and bold contouring, very dramatic, you know, change the shape of your face altogether, that kind of thing, I recommend going and looking at some videos of like drag queens and stuff like that, because it is amazing some of the stuff that they can do with their contouring and with their, you know, makeup and stuff. Because I mean, they're technically changing everything about themselves. And so I definitely recommend going and watching them, because as crazy as it may sound, some of them are really good. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go in with the same color, just a little bit on this brush here. This is a 219 MAC. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. And it is just a very domed, very stiff brush. And it's pretty small. I mean, you can tell by, like, the difference between my finger and it. It's very small, and this is just one of their, like, travel-sized ones. But it is very small, and it's very stiff, so it's good for this, because you are just using it just a little bit down the edges. So I definitely recommend getting a smaller brush for this area. So we're going to take a little bit of that, and we're going to go down, right down the edge of your nose. Now be very light-handed, because you don't want to mess this up. I normally do not do this step, and honestly, I'm not 100% why. I don't know. I think it looks kind of funny on me, but all right. And down the other side here. And then just follow the shape of your nose. Mine kind of makes an angle there at the tip. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with, oh, I totally just dropped that brush right onto the floor. I'm going to go in with, oh, where is it? I was not prepared for this one. Sorry, guys. I was not prepared. Here it is. Sorry. I'm going to go in with my 217 blending brush. It's just an eyeshadow brush. It's just a very soft blending brush. I love this brush. Eyeshadow, blah, blah, blah. It's beautiful. Anyways, so I'm just going to blend that out just a little bit, just so it's not so harsh. Now you want to remember all of everything that you're doing, especially your contouring and stuff. You want to be very careful and make sure you're blending everything out, because you don't want any harsh lines. You don't want anything. I mean, you don't want to look like you made your face up, really. Alright, and that is that part. I hope that looks good. I don't do my nose. It looks silly on me. My nose is too wide for it. But that is pretty much your contouring. So you're doing your cheeks here to give you that extra shadow here. You're doing your cheekbones, you're doing up here, and you're doing down your nose. Any of these steps can actually be, you know, taken out, like up here, here. I mean, you don't have to do it at all. But I do recommend doing this one and this one for sure, because it does give you a lot of that structure that you miss. Let's see how long we're at here. Whew, too long already. So, I guess I could just do, no, I won't. I think what I'll do after this is, I think I'm going to do, if this works out and really uploads like I want it to, I will do a easy, like everyday, normal, on-the-go look for your eyes to go along with this face that I've already done. Just like an add-on or whatever. So go ahead and comment and like and all that good stuff. Rate or whatever it is. I don't know what it all is. But go ahead and do all that, and then I'll put a link to the other one on this one on the description. And other than that, you guys let me know what else you want to see, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.